momentum you've got at the moment, it must be a really happy place to be.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, I think that's 4 wins in a row now, and a lot better than what we've had in the past. So tough game this week, obviously, but we certainly have put some performances together over the last month of rugby. So we're happy that we're back on track there, but that's only the beginning. Obviously, we've still got a long way to work to get towards that 6.
Yeah, I mean, Matty Peake's been speaking today, and he said, similar to what a lot of people have given you from an accolade point of view, that you and the coaching staff got them firing, and that you're going back to that time where you were trying to keep the team on track even when the results weren't there. And that really has come to fruition, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a tough season, to be honest with you, but one that I've enjoyed in the sense of having to think outside of the square at times on positions and how to play and change up the way that we want to play and the DNA of us as a club. But it's been a challenge, but you know we feel like we've got through that. So and I also know as coach, the minute that you start falling in love with yourself, you get kicked up the backside. So we weren't perfect the other night against Castleford, but we had a couple of really key people pull out of the game that week, and after what we've just said about missing a lot of players through injury during the season, we had Matty Moylan pull out Tom Amone and Gaz O'Brien, which was a blow for the club because they're key parts and key players within the group.
Well, that being said, how's everything looking for tomorrow? Because we know about this quick turnaround. It's rare, really, that situations come up like this at all in your sport.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but you hardly get to train, so you've just got to rely really on what you've done over the last couple of weeks. So, in that sense, I think we've prepared the best we possibly can. We've got to make a decision on 1 or 2 players today by the close of business today because we play tomorrow. And then we've got to get on the bus and get up the road there and have a really good crack at this game. It's round 2 game. So, it's important for us to get a really solid performance in. We need to win to keep our season alive with it making that 6.
How do you view it, given you played them so recently as well? What did you learn from that game, and what do you think you'll take into tomorrow?
Yeah, I think, we played them 3 times this year. I think we played them 3 times last year as well. So they're a club that we played a fair bit in the last 2 years. But it's always difficult to put back that round 2 game all the way back until this part of the season. But, they're a good side. They've got quality players right across the park. When you look at the players that they're going to pick, they could have 1 or 2 out and still fill a really strong team. So, they're obviously confident after the success that they've had. They've got a couple of players there that there's got that X factor about them that can hurt you at any point. So they're the real things. We thought we had a good crack last time, a bit of luck or a bounce go our way, and it could have been a different story. So we probably need the same effort. You have to be at your best to beat Wigan. So we're aiming for that 80-minute performance.
Does the rivalry lose much at all when you've necessarily played them so recently? Like you said, you played them quite a lot last season. Does it still feel as fresh and as important for you?
Oh, I missed the start of that question. Sorry, Robin. Sorry,
does the rivalry lose anything from the fact that you played so recently?
No.
Like you say, you played a lot last season as well.
No, not at all. It's one that's always there and always has been, always will be. It doesn't matter whether it's you play them 3 days in a row. You still have that rivalry there, and that's something that we'll look forward to. I think we played there a month ago and there was 16,000 people there. So obviously the fans get behind this particular game as well, and they know that it's going to be a cracker.
And just finally, in terms of that and that belief, how much can your fans make a difference? And you've had some amazing times with them recently. I mean, the Saints game comes to mind especially.
Yeah,
they can be really the difference, can't they? And you potentially getting into this top 6.
Yeah, they've been great for us all season. They've seen through the difficult time when we had so many injuries, and they've always been there on our away games, and they support us like no other. We feel, and we owe it to them. But I think the last time we went to Wigan, we had a pretty big crowd turn up there as well, and when we play Wigan here, it's a sell-out stadium. So the fans know what it's all about, and no doubt they'll support and follow us tomorrow, but we appreciate them.
Good luck, Adrian. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
mate?
Ben, good. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Thank you.
Good.
I mean, Wigan then. Robbie mentioned it then, but the sort of rivalries inflamed in recent years, hasn't it? Since obviously you've been back in Super League, you've been on both sides of the coin. Just sort of detail how big that rivalry is now.
Yeah, it's as big as it's ever been. You know, we're only down the road from them, and you know, there's players that have played at both clubs. I've coached at both clubs. There's links in all sorts of different areas. You know, fans that were in the Wigan Borough, it's just massive. But I think our fans on a Tuesday night will want to travel there and watch their team play well. You know, and our you know, with I keep saying, but the season is in the balance for us at the moment. You know, they've got a big game for them as well to try to get back to the top of the table, where we've got a similar approach trying to make the six. So, you know, two teams that have probably got one or two injuries as well, and you know, I think it'll be a great game on Tuesday night.
This is obviously the game in hand for yourself, and you referenced there the playoff push. If it doesn't go to plan tomorrow night, would you go as far as saying that sort of top six is out of reach?
No. You know, we're one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and you know, when I've looked at the ladder 1,000 times over this season, and it doesn't help you with the more you look at it, it doesn't change. But what it can do is it can take your mind off you being present right now. So for us, what we are in control of is how we train, how we recover, how we play, you know, and by doing that and staying in the moment, I think you can get your performance out. We trained today, and the boys looked a little bit lethargic. I'm sure that will happen on both sides. You know, they've only had 3 or 4 days off, and they're into training and into a game tomorrow. So it's a difficult thing to do and to play. But you know, it's where we're at. Both clubs are in the same situation, so you know, it'll be an even contest.
What has that last few days looked like then? Obviously, played Thursday night. I take it you're off Friday. Is today the first time that you've seen the boys since Thursday? Yeah.
It's you can also bring them in, but there's no point really, because you need the rest and the downtime to get away from rugby, in my experiences. So you know, each club are different, but with a very similar science behind it. So you know, we've had a bit of a run through today, albeit 30 minutes in between. So it's muscle memory from the last month of rugby, and just to make sure that your standards are high in these sort of games, because you get fatigued very easily. So you know, we've got to look forward to an 80-minute performance.
I think on Thursday night you said Matt was sort of 50-50. Is that still the case, or is a decision been made?
Yeah, no, he's still the case. We'll make that decision just before kick-off. So obviously still no Tom O'Mahon and no Gaz O'Brien. So a few key players out, but you know, it makes it all that more interesting for fans.
And just the last one from me, I think after Thursday's game, obviously Lockie got man of the match, super performance.
Yeah.
He said his future would sort of be resolved in the next week or so, a few weeks. Is there anything you can update us on that front, that you've sort of had conversations with him?
Yeah, there's nothing for me to add to that, Penny. Sorry, mate. It's just, it is what it is at the moment. So, you know, my focus is on this short turnaround, mate, and making sure that we give our best performance against Wigan. So we'll deal with that first.
No problem. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, been covered from me, Adrian. Thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow, mate.